The man at the center of a storm not of his creation has spoken. Elise Mbem boss, or someone with access to his Twitter account, sent out a string of disturbing and threatening tweets Monday night that seemed to be directed at head football coach Jim Harbaugh, even as UM's athletic director expressed concern for a player who left the football program in mid-November. The University of Michigan Police Department had already confirmed that they had launched an investigation into the social media threats. At a coaching clinic in Detroit Thursday night, Harbaugh for the first time somewhat addressed the threatening tweets seemingly directed at him by a former player. From the Detroit News, "It's a serious matter," Harbaugh told the Detroit News. "I'm confident our administration and university officials will take the proper steps and are taking the proper steps." Harbaugh was asked if he felt by the tweets. "That's all I'm going to say about it," he said. He issued the same response when asked when he became aware of the tweets. Mbem boss, who appeared in 12 games at linebacker the past twos, has not been arrested or charged as of yet in connection to the social media threats, even in the face of a police investigation. The Twitter account attached to Mbem boss, which he marked private before switching it back to public, has remained defiant and continued to direct unnerving tweets at his now former head coach. Not surprisingly, Nick Saban is taking a measured approach to what could potentially be a volatile situation within his football program. In an interview that was posted Thursday, Averion Hurts, the father of two-year starting quarterback Jalen Hurts, stated that, if his son fails to beat out Tua Tagovailoa for the starting job, he would be the biggest free agent in college football history. The intimation, of course, was that Hurts would transfer when he lost the competition. As it turned out, the Crimson Tide head coach was previously scheduled to meet with the media later on in the day, after the piece had gained some national traction. Predictably, Saban was asked about the quotes attributed to the elder Hurts. In answering the queries, Saban stated that he had met with the father this past weekend in what he described as a very positive meeting. Nick Saban says he had a very positive meeting with Averion Hurts, Jalen's dad, after Saturday's scrimmage. "I don't think there's an issue or a problem from my standpoint," John Zenner at Zenner April 19, 2018. In the article in question, Averion Hurts stated that, "While Coach Saban's job is to do what's best for his team, my job is to do what's best for Jalen." Saban's response from AL.com, "At the end of the day, everybody has career decisions that they have to make. Nobody knows what the outcome of this situation will bring. We don't want any player not to be able to fill their goals and aspirations in our program here. We don't want that for any of our players." Jalen's dad has always been very positive and supportive in every conversation that I had. "So I'm not really concerned with what somebody else chose to write because I'm always sort of use the personal communication that I have with our player, Jalen, and his family when necessary. And I have a lot of trust and respect for those folks. And I don't think there's an issue or problem from my standpoint." Hurts has taken the majority of first-team reps this spring as Tagovailoa has been extremely limited because of an injury to his left throwing hand that has thus far required 2 different surgeries. Tagovailoa will not participate in the annual spring game this Saturday, and Saban has refused to give a timeline for a decision on a starter to be made. The most successful head coach in Rutgers program history could be making his long-awaited return to the program. Sort of. Greg Schiano, now Ohio State's defensive coordinator, could potentially be one of the members of the Ohio State coaching staff that makes a visit to New Jersey this summer for a football camp run by Rutgers. The East Coast Elite Football Camp will be held on June 1 for high school juniors and seniors. Ohio State's coaching staff will be a special guest for the camp, leading many to suspect Schiano will be one of the star attractions for the Rutgers camp. It is worth noting Rutgers head coach Chris Ash was previously the defensive coordinator for Ohio State before accepting his first head coaching gig with the Scarlet Knights. Schiano was hired by Ohio State to fill the vacancy on the coaching staff as defensive coordinator and assistant head coach, with Ash making it his professional mission to build the Rutgers program using the lessons and strategies learned under Meyer at Ohio State. It seems only natural to invite Urban Meyer and his staff to New Jersey to work a football camp. Not only would this be a tremendous selling point for high school juniors and seniors, thus potential recruits, but the Rutgers staff can benefit from working alongside Ohio State's coaching staff, which is among the best in the nation. Schiano turned a dreadful Rutgers program into a competitive program in the Big East over a span of 11s. During that time, Rutgers played in 6 bowl games, and won 5 in a row over a 6-year span. In 2006, Schiano coached Rutgers to a number 12 ranking with a record of 11-2. After a 9-4 in 2011, Schiano accepted the job with the NFL's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but a 2-year stint in the pros was all Schiano would have before eventually returning to college game after a 2-year break. Follow at Kevin Ong. FB Penn State's spring game on Saturday could be a coaching matchup of James Franklin versus James Franklin. Noted Franklin impressionist and Penn State alum Keegan-Michael Key will be attending the Penn State spring game this Saturday. The school also announced on Facebook he will be a special guest coach for the game. You can bet the actor will tap his inner Franklin for at least a little bit for some comedy on the sidelines. Key has made himself visible around Penn State the past few years with his impressions of Franklin during football meetings and on ESPN's College Game Day. The similarities between Franklin and Key are so good that even the head coach of the Nittany Lions has had to tell some people it's not a him they see on TV sometimes. With any luck, perhaps we'll get our first glimpse of the newest addition to the Penn State spring roster, Hingle McCringleberry. Penn State's spring game is scheduled for 3 p.m. this Saturday. Follow at Kevin Ong. FB. After coaching North Dakota State to a national championship last, Chris Kleeman has been given a contract extension. The school announced the contract extension, which is now good through the 2023. The new extension tacks on 2 years to the existing contract for the head coach of the FCS juggernaut Bison. Chris has done an exceptional job in leading our football program on a national level, North Dakota State Director of Athletics Matt Larson said in a release statement. Not only have we won 3 national championships during his tenure, but our student athletes are achieving high marks in the classroom and are actively engaged on campus and in the Fargo-Moorhead community. I look forward to working with him and his staff for years to come. Kleeman was named head coach at North Dakota State after former Bison head coach Craig Bohl was hired by Wyoming in 2014. In his short time as head coach, Kleeman has continued to keep North Dakota State among the top FCS programs in the nation with 3 national titles 2014, 2015, 2017 and 4 consecutive Missouri Valley Football Conference championships. Prior to becoming the head coach of the program, Kleeman was a defensive back coach and defensive coordinator under Bohl. The defending FCS national champion North Dakota State Bison opened their 2018 at home against Cal Poly on September 1. North Dakota State will not play an FBS opponent this fall or in 2019, but will play at Oregon in 2020. Follow at Kevin Ong. FB.